What's up, Wolfpack? Cole Gregg here, and today we have a first look for you. This is Hydro Flask's Downshift 5-liter hip pack. It is their first hip pack in the mountain bike scene, and I'm super excited to break this down for you. So first off, when I got this from the box, they came with some super sweet accessories. I have a bunch of bottles here and some snacks here. Big shout out to Hydro Flask for putting that together. I'm a big fan of snacks and water bottles. So diving into this pack, on the outside, what we have is not unlike any other hip pack you've seen in the market today. So we have two front zippered pockets on the hip belt, something I'm a big fan of. I like to keep a really small multi-tool in there for either my use or a friend's. Sometimes a small bar or the energy goos that I can easily access on climb. And on the back we have another external pocket here on the very outside, which is what I assume is a foam pocket. Now I don't have much information on this pack, but one thing I did notice is, let's go ahead and take out these gear straps. I have the iPhone XR and it easily fits into this pack here. I would be really curious to see if I can get it to work with a Moment lens, because that's something I bring on most all my rides, but plenty of room even for the extra large iPhones. One thing to note, maybe you don't want your phone on the outside of the pack, but if you do, I always run it screen in just for some extra protection. I've yet to fall on the back of a pack yet, so fingers crossed that doesn't happen, but it is a nice lined pocket. So moving on from the foam pouch, immediately you are greeted with these gear straps. Now these are plenty long enough, let's see if I can extend them out, to get your knee pads and a jacket in there. As far as gear straps go, these are some of the longest that I have seen. They seem to tighten down super efficiently. No notches, nothing about that. And they have the little organizer tab here as well that you can stuff the extra material up into, and it's super tight, so you won't have to worry about that coming undone. I'm someone that likes all my straps either cinched together with some sort of Velcro or through these little strap connects. Also here on the outside, it's kind of hard to see here, they do claim that you can use this as a bike light mount. Now, I don't have a light that necessarily would work with this, but if you are someone that maybe does a lot of gravel rides and you have to transition across some roads and you don't have a light on your bike, pretty cool option to have that there. On the bottom back side of this pack here, you can see there's a little bit of Velcro and a little stuff sack. So that is where these gear straps live when they're not in use. For me, I'm pretty rarely putting gear in there unless it's more of a springtime or late summer ride where I know I'm gonna have a t-shirt and a jacket with me. Other than that, my jacket usually lives on my back. So let's go ahead and pull these gear straps down. And for the sake of this, let's just stuff them in here, get them out of our way. And it's not too big to be obtrusive, but it is plenty big enough. So stuff that in there and boom, just like that. Works pretty well. Also on the outside, you have an option to mount two water bottles. These are super tight, so depending on the water bottle you're using, I have two here. So I have this Hydro Flask one that they sent, and then also our Lone Wolf bottle. So the Lone Wolf bottle is a little bit bigger diameter. So just for reference, to show you how it gets in there, it is a super tight fit. And I am a little concerned with, use over the years, how much this will stay if it's gonna pull apart from the seams. But you can get it up over that finger hold there, and there's no coming out. So it's definitely in there. And then say you wanna bring some coffee or hot chocolate along for a ride, which I can see myself doing on some photo shoots, which would be pretty cool. Let's see and get this in there. Again, it's not the easiest to get your water bottle in there, but it is doable. And with that said, it's not gonna come out. So that's definitely a big bonus. So you can get two in there, no problem at all, once you do get it started. Getting it started is the hard part. But like I said, it's a good option. I'm not sure with having an actual hydration pack again if I will be bringing a water bottle, and now my bike does have a bottle mount on the bike as well, so the less weight I can keep off my back is usually what I'm trying to do. So speaking of weight, this pack weighs in at 518 grams, and now when you compare that to say the Dakine Hot Laps with the bag, that pack weighs 485 grams, so you do get a little bit extra weight on this pack, but more on that as we dive deeper into it. Let's explore the tool compartment here. So in the tool compartment, you have a front zippered pouch here. Really easy to access zipper, doesn't bind. It is also big enough, let's see my phone in there. Now it is thinner, so I don't think I'd be able to put that Moment lens on my phone in here, but I could carry the lenses separate. So diving into the back side of the pack, we have one large compartment. So there's only two specific compartments in here. You can count the center area as a third if you'd like. And in this compartment here, we do have a key strap, which is super handy. And then these little elastic organizing bands. Now, this could be good for CO2s, maybe shot blocks. There's not a whole lot I see myself using these for. Again, the shot blocks, maybe some CO2s, but generally my tools are a bit thicker, so they will kind of be living either on the outside here, depending on the size of one I want to bring, or in this center area. So I haven't stuffed a jacket in here, and that is something I was able to do with my Dakine bag. So I'd be pretty curious to see if that same Patagonia jacket that I normally ride in can stuff in here. If it doesn't, we have those handy gear straps, so it's not gonna be an issue for me. So let's move on to the bladder section of this pack, which is really cool. There's some new tech in here that I think is gonna benefit those riders living in warmer areas. So, normal bladder pack here. When you open it up, let's see, you can tell there's some nice shiny material in there. So that is an insulated pack area. And on top of that insulation, let's pull the bladder out, it is also insulated. So on those hot summer days, it also has that quick release, which is super cool. Hot summer days, you get 1.5 liters of ice cold water. And they actually have an ice fill line on here, so they know exactly what they're targeting to do with this specific bladder. Someone like myself that generally doesn't ride in 95+ degree weather all the time, I think I would like to see the option to choose a non-insulated pack because you already do have the insulation on the bag. So hot weather riders, this is gonna be a good one for you. With the insulation on both the pack and the bladder here, even though it does have a quick release, it is a little bit difficult to kind of sit down inside the pack. It takes some finagling, and I'm sure the more times I do it, I'll get used to it, but it doesn't slide in as easy as other packs. There's just more material in there, and I think it's a price that you might be willing to pay if you are looking for a hot weather pack. So one thing to note with the bladder and the straw, or the, what do you call this? Is it a straw? Is it a bladder hose? Just the hose, whatever you want to call it, this thing. So I really like the fact that Hydro Flask went with a clip versus a magnet. So on my Evoc pack that I genuinely love and had used the crap out of it, I wore holes into it. I always had to kind of tie down that strap or put it in the back so it wouldn't come undone. I can't tell you how many times I've had that magnet come off while I'm riding and have that thing dangling and tripping me out as I'm going through a rock garden. So super secure. It is only available on one side, so if you're left-handed, maybe it's a downside, but overall, it's a really cool addition to this pack. I think it really makes it stand out. The other interesting thing I found with the hose is, let's pull it out of here. When I first got it, and you have this in the little clip, the hose kind of just lives free. So I don't know exactly how we could combat fixing this. There is that elastic strap on the belt here, so when you do have that belt wound up, struggling talking today, you can put it through there. And I think this is gonna be a good solution. Time will tell. I have yet to ride with this pack. We literally just got in and wanted to give you the breakdown. So I think that will solve that problem. I'm not sure if that was what it's intended for. I would like to see an additional strap built into the buckle strap here, just to keep that hose a little bit more secure. And another fun fact, I did find when I was just kind of playing around, pull this back out, you can run it through the gear straps up here. I think that's what I can't tell if it's a little different. So let me just pull these back out for you. So there are little loops here that look like they are intended to be used for the straps, but they actually aren't. The gear straps do go up top here and does fit with that hose in there. So if you just wanted to get the hose up and out of the way, maybe you're not using it, or you finished your water and you just don't want to deal with taking the pack on and off with that hose in the front, you can kind of stuff it in there and you can see it will keep it secure. Well, that about does it. I do have to say my overall first impressions of this pack with Hydro Flask's entry into the mountain bike market is very positive. Now I can't speak to the ventilation here, but it does look like the honeycomb structure of the back pad will provide plenty of ventilation. There is a divot here in the center where your spine goes, so there should be some good updraft there. I generally don't have issues with my back overheating. Again, not necessarily riding in super hot weather, but that might be changing here as I'm moving to Arizona. So overall, Really, really good first impressions without riding this bag. The build quality, the stitching, the seams, the availability of different pockets, all I think really knock it out of the park. Again, we gotta get this on trail, we gotta get it weighted down and see how it does. A downside I could see maybe having is there is no additional tightening strap on the side here like the Evox and the Dakines, which I do tend to frequently use. I'm a bit skinnier, so I do have a hard time keeping packs tight. But I'm really interested to see how this does. Now the buckle is offset. I'm not sure if that's gonna cause any issues, but we're gonna get out on the trail, get plenty of ride time in this, and we will get you some feedback. If you have any questions about this hip pack, or if there's something that you'd like to know that maybe I skipped over a little fast, please drop a comment below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Wolf Pack. We'll see you out on the trails.